This is my Fujifilm X100f. It's been my trusted companion for about 5 years now. And this is my new Fujifilm X-T50, and today I'm going to go through why I've upgraded, what am I gaining from it, and potentially what am I losing as well. Now, let me start by saying that I am not a professional photographer. It's purely a hobby for me. The X100f was actually my first proper camera. Before that, I only used my iPhone or Android phones, and the real great thing about them is that they're always with you. But the more I started to use them, the more I thought, you know what, actually, I want to get something proper, and that's where this came in. The great thing about the X100f, or the whole X100 series, is they're so pocketable, right? They can fit in jacket pockets, they can fit in cargo pants pockets, they could maybe fit in trouser pockets. They just fit. You can always have it with you, you can be discreet with it, it's not going to be hanging around your neck all the time. And they look really great as well. They've got this nice retro styling, they've got the dials on the top, they're really clicky, you get a real sense of control with it, and they're just dead simple to use, right? You don't have to be, someone who knows loads about photography to get into it. You can get started with them pretty much straight away. So why the X-T50 then? Well, I mean, first of all, obviously, you can swap out the lenses, dead easy, take them off, take them on. Within a few seconds, you can swap between different ones. And that was one of the key things for me was, having the options to just swap them out dead easily and be able to change lens whenever I wanted to take a different style of photo or a different style of aesthetic, or just change the way I took photos. The X-T50 benefits from all of the different X series lenses. There's about, I don't know, something like 20 odd, something like that. It's a bit daunting at first. So there is a lot of lenses. A lot of them are quite old, like 10 to 12 years old. Some of them are much newer, and it's really worth, if you are going down this path, I think, to watch videos, read reviews, and that way you can see, what sort of ones are going to work for you, because they're not cheap. Certainly for someone like me who's just doing this as a hobby, who just wants to take really good pictures. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Now, the kit lens that came with mine is the brand new 16-50. So you've got lots of different options there. You've got, obviously from 16mm all the way up to 50mm, and anything in between. One thing I perhaps would have liked would have been some way for it to indicate which one you're on other than looking at it. To change it, you slide this dial here, and it's just a smooth dial. There's nothing that sort of tells you which one you're on, so you have to sort of look at it if you want a specific size. But other than that, it does give you loads of versatility, loads of options, and it is, dead simple to do. There's a couple of other things on here. So you've got a manual focus ring at the front here for if you want to take any cool macro shots, or you just want to be focusing manually. You've also got on the side here, you've got a switch where you can go between automatic and manual aperture. So if you pick automatic, it will just pick whatever the camera thinks is best for you. If you go to manual, then you've got this third ring here, which again is just one smooth motion. It doesn't give you any stops or any sort of indication of which aperture you're on. It does click, this one, unlike the front one, so you do get a sort of click on it, and you would look at the camera screen to see which aperture you're on, rather than being able to see it on the actual lens itself, which I'm told is just simply because it's a variable aperture depending on what focal length you pick. So at 16, I think it starts at f2.8. By the time you go up to 50, it starts at 4.8, I think. So I mentioned one of the things that first drew me to Fujifilm in the first place was their styling, their sort of retro aesthetic, as well as the dials on the top. So on the X-T50, you still get a lot of that. You still get a lot of dials, including one new controversial dial, which I don't have any problem with, but I think some people are a little bit concerned about where this is taken in the series. So the ones you get, an exposure compensation dial, which is useful, I guess. I mean, I tend to just leave it on, see, the command option, and then just adjust the exposure using the front command dial. I find that's just much quicker and easier. The other dial on the right hand side here is the shutter speed dial, so I do use that quite a lot. Again, I use it in auto quite a lot, but there is a lot of times where I'm taking pictures of my kids or wildlife or just something like that, and I know I want some sort of minimum of a few hundred, just to make sure that I get the shot. And then the third dial is this brand new film sim dial. So again, there seems to be a bit of division between what people think of this. Some people think it's unnecessary, and you can use other controls on the camera, but having it on a dial I think really just makes it so simple to swap between all the different film sims. And again, that's why people buy Fujifilm, right? They buy it for the aesthetic, they buy it for all these different film simulations. You know, it's one of the things that drew me to it, it's one thing that draws a lot of people to it, and having the option here just to be looking through the viewfinder or be looking at the screen and just to, you know, very quickly just go through all the different ones and see which one matches the scene you're looking at. It's just so easy. So I think you get 8 built in, so some of them are popular ones, so Provia, Astia, Classic Chrome, Nostalgic Neg, etc. You've also got 3 different slots to put your own ones on there, so you can pick which ones you get. Or again, you can leave it on C, so the command option, and then you can use the command out to choose which one you want. You can also leave it on C and then have it picked via the quick settings that you select. So you can use that quick menu to set up 7 different quick styles, and then they can have the film sim as well as a load of different settings as well, like your shadow, your highlights, your grain, etc. And then you can quickly swap between them, and that's you know, when you get into the realm of what you call these Fujifilm recipes, and there's loads of them online that can really help you just get a particular aesthetic from a particular film or from a particular era. So again, definitely check those out if that's something you're interested in. Now, being a brand new camera, you know, it's a couple months old I think at this point, you do benefit from a lot of new tech in this. So it's got the same 40 megapixel sensor, the same in-body stabilization, the same processor as what you get with the much bigger and more professional X-T50, as well as the brand new X100 So me coming from the X100f, there's a lot of new improvements. So first of all, it uses USB-C, which is nice. I don't need to carry around a micro USB cable anymore. The door for the ports is on the left-hand side, which makes it much easier if you're ever going to have anything plugged in while you're using it. Previously on the X100f, it's on this side, which is a bit annoying because that's where you hold it, and you don't really want wires and things sticking out there. It's a bit of a weird decision as to why they put it on that side. So you also get the tilting screen, so it can tilt up, it can tilt down. So some final thoughts then. This, for me, is a fantastic upgrade. It's still really small, really portable. It does obviously have the much bigger lens, you know, comparing the two, you can see much bigger, but you can swap out the lenses, so you can get much smaller ones like pancake lenses, you can get bigger ones, you can get just the whole range. The speed of it is fantastic, the photo quality is fantastic. You get more film sims compared to the X100f. I think there's about 5 or 6 extra ones that I don't have on that. The quick menu makes it easier. You can name your film simulation recipes, which is easier. It means it's easier to know what it is that you actually swap into, which is nice. So yeah, overall, it's just a fantastic package. A couple of things that you're not getting with it, so you don't get that hybrid viewfinder. So if you like to use the OVF viewfinder, where you can see like things coming from outer frame into the frame, you're going to miss out on that. And then obviously the only other thing is just the portability. This one, X100f, can definitely fit in my pocket. This one can't. I mean, I could take the lens off and then it could fit in a pocket, but then you've got to put the lens on every time and mess about with lens caps and all that stuff. So this one is probably just going to be one around the neck, but again, still really small, really portable, nice and light. When I was exploring ones that I wanted to potentially upgrade to, this was on my list, as well as the X-T50. Now, there's quite a bit of difference between those two. So the X-T50 is geared more for professionals, so it has dual SD slots, it has a bigger battery, it has just a bigger frame in general, and that was actually one of the things that I disliked about it. It was quite a bit bigger, and again, because it's still the same sensor, same processor, same in-body stabilization, the same lenses, you get just the same stuff as it, just in a smaller package. I think in many ways this is actually more like a X100 that you can change the lenses on, rather than being a smaller X-T50. I mean, again, you're missing out on the size part of it. You know, the size difference is, you know, quite apparent with the lens. The body is not. In actuality, I think the body on this, because it's curved, is actually a tiny bit smaller than the X100 series, but again, it's the lens that makes it much bigger. Overall, I'm really looking forward to taking a load more shots with it. I've really enjoyed my experience with it so far, and I think it's going to be a great upgrade. Incidentally, on this at the minute, I'm using Peak Design's micro clutch, so this makes it dead easy to hold it in one hand. There's a lot less fear of dropping it. You can be a bit more flexible with it. If you'd like a video on that, let me know, and I'll let you know my thoughts on that too. Alright, that's it. Thanks everybody. Bye.